What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. My name is Austin J, or hallucinodream if you know me from the gaming community, and I'm your host for this podcast. Today is our first official episode with an actual topic. No more introductions. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of health and wellness and how it can tie into your gaming performance. Today, I want to talk about tips on how to start and maintain a fitness routine. Now, the fitness routine will cover fitness, of course, so like your workouts, your cardio, but it also is going to cover nutrition. Nutrition is a very large part of your routine. So if you don't have nutrition, so that's literally half the battle. So you kind of need to do both. So I am here to give some tips for those who may be beginning, starting out, maybe have started a couple different times and, fell off, and maybe these tips can help you, because they helped me, start and continue and maintain that fitness routine, that health and wellness journey that you are going to start. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm here by myself. Again, my name is Austin J, or hallucinodream if you know me from the gaming community, and I will be going over that. So let's get started with some tips. The first tip I always recommend to people, I always give out, and as a personal trainer myself, on my beginner programs, I make sure this is one of the main things that I put into it, is to start slow. A lot of people think that they get this goal in their mind, I want to lose this amount of weight, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to gain this much muscle. They think they need to work out 5 times a week. They need to work out 4 times a week. They need to work out 6 times a week, do one rest day. Because that's what, when you look up schedules online, you look up, fitness routines online, examples and stuff. That's what it is. It's a 4-3, it's a 5-2, it's a 6-1. So people will go off of that. If you're a beginner, that is not necessarily where you want to go. You're going to really quickly burn yourself out doing that many days during the week, and you're going to fall off very quickly. So my recommendation, and what worked for me at the beginning and what works for, most people, is to start slow. So the first tip is to start slow. My recommendation is to, maybe start 2 days a week lifting. And if you want to add a couple more days of cardio, like walking, doing a walking routine, because that's also good for many goals that people want to, especially if beginning, want to hit. You can add that, but start with 2 days of your fitness routine, and then do that for 2-3 months to make sure that your body is getting used to the fact that you're changing and doing these routines, and to get your mindset to the place that you need to be able to continue, so that you don't burn yourself out, you don't stop, and you don't have to restart again. That also goes for not just the fitness, not just the health, the working out portion, but that goes for nutrition as well. Some people try to, and I have tried this several times, I can tell you it doesn't work, to try to revamp your whole diet and your whole nutrition, your nutrition program that you're following, and try to do the whole thing. I can tell you, I try to do the whole thing. I try to switch out this, switch out that. I try to cut this out, cut that out. Doing it all at once is incredibly difficult. Very high failure rate on that. And I was unable to complete it. A lot of people aren't. That's just too much that's going on. Start slow with your nutrition as well. Maybe cut out one thing at the beginning, do that for a couple weeks. So if let's say you're a heavy soda drinker, cut out soda. See if you can do that for a couple weeks straight. If you can do that, great. If you do that, you're more than likely drinking something else, water, hopefully something healthier, that you're not just cutting soda and then adding Monster Energies. And then once you start getting used to doing that, add something else. So add a salad once a day. That'll knock out maybe some junk food that maybe you're eating. Do that for a couple weeks, and then go from there until you basically revamp your whole nutrition routine. So the first tip that I want to recommend to people is to start slow. You don't have to go from 0 to 100. You'll burn out. That'll delay motivation as well, and it's just not beneficial to go from 0 to 100. So Start slow, get your body used to it, get your mind used to it, and, go from there. That being said, another thing on top of starting slow, these are all pretty good tips, I think. I personally went through all these tips, so that's why I am relaying the message to you guys. Second thing I would say that definitely goes hand in hand with starting slow, especially if you're a beginner, grab a partner. Find a family member, find a good friend, somebody that you can ask to join you on your fitness journey, somebody who might be interested in starting a routine, whether that's just walking routine or actually going to the gym, and ask them to join you. A lot of times it's not very difficult to find a partner. A lot of people want to start a routine, and it's a lot easier to have somebody there with you, especially if you're going to the gym. The gym is a very intimidating place. So you can walk in there if you're going there by yourself. Again, I can tell you I failed many, many times because I went by myself. That's not the sole reason, but because I went by myself. And it's intimidating. I didn't really know what I was doing going to the gym. And most of the time I'm just standing around there. Then, I start getting upset about that. My mindset starts, going into places that I don't want it to go. And eventually I fall off. Because it's just, it's a new learning curve. It's hard to do. It is. But you can make it easier by allowing yourself to get used to it. So grab a partner. Your partner will help hold you accountable. You'll do the same for them. They'll drive motivation, and they'll make the learning curve a lot easier. So, you're not the only one doing research on what you need to do. They will also be doing this too. So, you guys go twice a week because you're starting slow. Maybe the second time of the second week, you're both coming in with new information. Oh, we can do this, we can do that. Did this research, did that research, and then go from there. I started my routine 2017, and I for certain wouldn't have continued if I didn't have a partner going with me. That's just how difficult it was for me personally to get started into a fitness and health and wellness journey. If I didn't have my buddy there with me, going to meet with me doing the gym, he fell off several months later, and I continued. Thankfully, it was a little sketchy after he fell off, but if it weren't for him, he made it easier. It was more fun, and I think that's what you need at the beginning, because then it'll make like I said, it'll ease up the intimidation factor, and will help you, not fall off. And so you're able to continue the journey that you want to pursue. So find a partner, friend, family member, whatever it may be. Ask them to start a fitness journey with it. Worst case scenario, that person says they're not ready for a routine, and then you can find somebody else. Like I said, a lot of people want to start a routine. A lot of people have a routine. You can even find a partner who is seasoned, already working out. They can teach you a lot very fast. That is very beneficial. So even ask somebody who's been working out for a long time. So grab a partner. I assure you it will help. It'll be more fun. It'll be easier to learn. Another thing you can do, another tip, is to make it public. Make the fact that you are starting a health and wellness journey public. Now, what in the world does that mean, make it public? Well, tell your friends, tell your family, hey, I am starting a fitness routine. I'm starting a fitness routine next week, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm very excited to start this journey. So 9 times out of 10, as a matter of fact, 99% of the time, so 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to get positive feedback for that. That's a great thing to do, a great thing to start. There's not going to be a person who's going to be like, why in the world would you do that? It's not a thing. So you're going to get that positive feedback. You're going to get a boost in motivation to be able to do that. And not only that, let's say you don't have a partner. Let's say you asked everybody and nobody wants to. Now you actually have accountability because you made it public. I can tell you I did that. I told people, and I also posted it on social media. Social media is very powerful. You get that positive feedback on social media as well. So I would post my progress, of course, which was very slow, if you're wondering. We'll get into that later. But I'd post my progress, and you get positive feedback from people you don't even know, and then people you do know. And Of course, that feels good. Everybody likes to get positive feedback, and that's more motivation to keep going, which is what you need because of, especially if you're a beginner, like I said, it's very difficult to start. So make it public. Tell everybody. I mean, if you're not at the point where you want to make it public and tell everybody how excited you are to start your routine, then you're probably not actually that excited, and you're probably not actually in the mindset that you really want to push forward with it. And maybe now is not the right time to start. So make it public. Tell everybody you know. Get on top of a mountain, scream it as loud as you can, and just that'll really help. I guarantee it. Another tip is to schedule your week. Excuse me. Now, I said in the first tip to start slow, maybe about 2 days a week. You can add some cardio in there. So like 2 days of lifting, maybe, if that's, which is beneficial. You definitely should lift 2 days a week, and then maybe do two or 3 days of cardio, which is, maybe some walking. Do a step count. So like 5,000 steps would be a good start. Not too terribly difficult to hit. Majority of the time, people can hit that while they're at work, or just walking dog, everything. But schedule your week. So let's say you do that. Let's say you have 2 lifting days, 2 cardio days. Schedule those lifting days. If you have a busy schedule, if you have a changing schedule, schedule it week by week. I always would say schedule it week by week, because at that point then you can, if something were to come up the next week, because every week's probably going to change, then you can easily, schedule around that, because now you don't have everything set in stone and you weren't like, oh no, it's set in stone. Try to schedule out, a week in advance. If something is to come up on the day that you scheduled to go to the gym, there's no reason to sweat it. If you miss a day at the gym, it's completely fine. Progress isn't going to be lost in one day. As long as you continue, the rest of the week and then the next week, you're fine. Just don't let it negatively affect you to the point where you stop because you missed one day at the gym. It's not going to really put a damper in your progress. That being said, you can always reschedule it if you have time at the end of the week. Going to the gym doesn't take too significant amount of time in your day. So being able to schedule even just 45 minutes to an hour should really be able to, you should really be able to fit that in. And like I said, if you have to reschedule. It's not a problem. Just keep moving forward. Never look backwards. There's no reason that I personally miss days all the time. I miss lifting days, cardio days. I want to compete at an elite level for the Spartan race. If you don't know what that is, Spartan.com, you can look it up. I qualified for the elite wave, but my training falls off sometimes, and I'd be the first to admit that. I'm not going to say, man, I missed a whole week of training, I'm just not going to train anymore. It's not a thing. I know I'm not really going to fall off that far from missing a week of training. I'm several years in, so a week is really not too huge of a deal. I can recover from that, but I can tell you, if you fall off, it's not a big deal. Just continue forward. You got to get in the mindset that it's okay. It's okay to slip up sometimes. Even on nutrition, it's okay to slip up with nutrition sometimes. There's no such thing as cheat days. It's just, eating different things in moderation. But just keep pushing forward, and just remember why you started and the goals that you want to hit. So schedule your week. I promise you it'll be a lot easier, a significant amount easier if you schedule your week as opposed to winging it. I used to wing it all the time. There's about a 60% chance of missing a day, almost every day, winging it. Those aren't odds you want to play against. So schedule a week. It'll be a lot easier, I promise. With that, a lot of people are afraid to ask questions. One thing that I learned very early on was that I just can't learn everything myself. There's a lot of techniques, there's a lot of stuff. I can watch a million videos. I still could get the form wrong. And form is everything when you're lifting. Now we're talking strictly lifting right here. Form is important for running and posture and, simply just walking as well. But generally, you're not going to have poor form. You can fix posture with lifting. Anyways, don't be afraid to ask questions, because one, especially if you're nervous, especially if you're by yourself and don't have a partner, even if you have a partner, let's say you're both new and you're at a gym, it's populated, there's a bunch of people that you can tell, maybe, and don't be afraid to reach out and ask some people at the gym. A lot of times people would love to help you and give you advice on, especially if you're new, they love to give you advice on, what kind of lifts to do, how to hit certain body parts, and maybe show you some of the forms. So don't be afraid to ask, but ask if there's somebody that you see that is doing the same type of workouts you, it's back day for you and your friend, or just you, and you struggling on what you want to do. Ask that person. Say, hey, it's back day. I'm doing back day. Do you have any recommendations? Could you maybe show me a couple work exercises that I can do? And let them show you, let them guide you. There's a lot of times that these gyms have personal trainers just walking around the floors. Ask them. They 100% will tell. If you think that a personal trainer is walking around the floor and only will help you if you pay them, that's not true. They will help you. They'll help you on the floor. They'll help you, even if you're not paying them. If you're just a member, they'll just ask them for advice, some help, and they easily will help you. There are many times that people are too afraid to ask questions, and that leads to falling off, because you just don't know what exactly to do at the gym, and that just really defeats motivation. That happened to me the first couple times that I started lifting by myself, is I didn't really know what to do, so it's like I'm just going to leave, which is what happened, and really don't see much progress there. So you don't want that to happen to you, and or bad form, like I said, that can cause injuries. You do not want to get an injury very early on in your, ever, but you definitely don't want to get one early on, because that'll really set you back. So ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, especially if there's personal trainers walking around. They are prime real estate for information. So don't be afraid to ask. Now, those are just a couple tips that I personally have used to get me started on my health and wellness routine, my fitness routine. I started at the gym 2017. We'll just give a little background on how it went. 2017, found the Spartan race right at the beginning of 2018, but before that I fell off. So a whole year and I fell off, but then I continued, and now here we are. And now I am dedicating my life to learning as much as possible and relaying the message to you guys and helping you guys improve. So I use these personally, these tips, and I highly recommend you at least give them a thought, maybe try them a little bit. Definitely start slow for sure, but grab a partner if you can. Definitely make it public if you feel comfortable. Schedule your week for sure, and for certain ask questions. If you have any questions, you can of course ask me. My social media will be in the description. If you're watching live here on Twitch or YouTube, my social media will also be in the description. You can find me on social you can find me on my social media. You can find me on all the One Punch. If you're watching live, it's over here on your left. If you're listening on the podcast platform, it will be in the description. You can find me anywhere on the One Punch website or the social media. My links will be down there. Don't hesitate to ask questions. You can ask One Punch directly as well. I will respond through that avenue as well if you want to go there. Give us a follow and ask some questions. I'm going to do a follow-up and a question and answer in the following week. The date of that is going to be, the 25th of November. I'll be doing a follow-up question and answer to this episode. And I will be doing, I'll be doing that. Sorry, just lost my train of thought. I will be doing that live on Twitch and YouTube next week. So if you have any questions, you can absolutely come into the Twitch or the YouTube live and ask questions there as well. Those links will also be in the description. And I will go over all that next week. And maybe any tips that I feel maybe I missed, I will also go over. So those are some tips to help you get started. I hope if you're really looking to start a routine, I hope that you do. And I hope that these tips help you start, but not only start, maintain that routine. And I really hope to see you guys on your journey. And I hope to see you guys post some status and updates of your journey. And we're very excited. I'm very excited to see the updates. So hopefully you guys can join us next week for the follow-up and the question and answer. Again, that's November 25th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. The links will be in the description. The links will be on all of our social media. You can follow us on Twitter for live updates. And again, my name is Austin J, or hallucinodream. You can follow me. All of my links are at hallucinodream. They will be, that's a mouthful, of course. They will be in the description. So again, you can reach out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, on the podcast platforms. Give us a good rating if possible. And follow us on all of our other social, including our Twitch. So thank you for joining, those who did. I will see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you again.